we are live. Yippee. Let me just get my stories playing because yes. Okay.
Who says you can't go for gold?
Okay, let me get the YouTube chat going.
The brands you want, the prices you want. You never TJ Maxx, where you can always
There we go.
to the max.
At Accelerate 3D, we use large-size, high-speed 3D printing to help hardware companies bridge the gap between prototype and mass production.
Do I look good, guys? Anything stuck in my teeth? Just let me know in the comments. I really don't trust my assistant. She hates me. See, I was telling a friend one day that my assistant smells like chicken. I think she overheard. But seriously, I hear bop bop every time she comes close. Wait, if she sees this, she'll start spitting in my food. Director, please cut this part out, okay? Hi, I'm Cece, and I'm a model and Insta-blogger from New York. Now, I know many of you are expecting Ramen to do a part 2. And don't get me wrong, I love her. But let me tell you how
Everyone's
I'm better
already
than
in
that
chat. I
evil
love
woman
this.
rapper. She never even told you her real name or where she's from. But I'm an open book. I have no problem disclosing that my full name is Cecilia, and wait, I'm getting a phone call from the dragon. I mean, my mother. This can't be good. Be right back. Okay, where was I? Yeah, basically, Ramen's busy and her animator got sick and can't do more parts for now. But MSA can't disappoint you, so I stepped up. Now my story will take this lovely animator, and I chose him because he makes his character shake, like this, see? See, I have a bit of a history with shaking. I love Rihanna and her song, Shine Bright Like a Diamond. But when I was little, I used to hear it as, shake your body like a demon. And I wondered, why would somebody shake their body like a demon? Who's even seen a demon shaking? But you know, just an easygoing girl. I didn't question anything and just continued with my life. The reason why I was a relaxed, easygoing kid was because my parents were jerks. You know, like jerks to the point where you just give up and live your life because you have no other option. I was born in a family of French aristocrats who had moved to the US a long time ago. But my parents still acted like they had sticks up their butts. I lived in a large, dull mansion where everything was beige, and you guessed it, beige. Any attempts to add color were frowned upon. And then they had all these rules. Keep your voice low, but don't mumble. Sit straight and no elbows on the table. Don't show your teeth when you laugh. You're not a donkey. That's the soup spoon. That's the dessert spoon. Your ancestors must be rolling in their graves saying you eat meat with a fish fork. Jeez, weirdos. Don't you have anything better to do than watching me all day? And wait, let me show you what someone looks like when they laugh without their teeth. I look like a psychopath, right? Even Mom's cat Vivian was a judgmental snob and probably a spy. Once I was playing in the garden and I picked a booger from my nose and stuck it to a sunflower. Come on, it's normal. Kids do this stuff. I know you've done it too. Don't act so cool. And I turned around to find Vivian looking at me like this. So, yeah, I've always been a misfit in this sophisticated family. And it's not that I'm not girly. Actually, I adore fashion. And I always had a magazine tucked in the middle of the literary masterpieces I was forced to read. But I just hadn't grown up to be the classy lady my parents had hoped for. Once in 9th grade, I was shopping at the supermarket with a friend because she wanted to cook something for her boyfriend. Ugh, barf. Boys were all the craze with the girls in 9th grade. I was the only one cool enough not to lose my mind over some boy. I got bored, so I jumped into my friend's shopping cart and told her to run down the aisle with me. We were both laughing like crazy when suddenly she tripped the melons and I opened my eyes. I was sure I'd gone to heaven because an angel was looking down at me, halo and all. Hey, are you okay? I don't know. Am I dead? I really hope not. You have to pay for all those watermelons. And then he smiled. Okay, so I was about to lose my mind over some boy. So sue me. His name was Danny.
Yeah.
He was 2 years older, and he worked there part-time as a sales assistant. Our connection was instant, and he asked me out right away. Also, I did pay for the watermelons, but I learned later that the store policy didn't require people to pay for accidents. Did Danny get the money for himself? Be like a demon for years, and never even questioned that. Anyway, a week later, we were officially together. And do you know those first days when you're so in love? The sky is bluer, the grass is greener, the air smells like lavender. My stupid 15-year-old brain was telling me that I'd met my soulmate. We liked the same everything, and I could just be myself around him. My parents didn't approve because he wasn't our class, but I couldn't give a hoot. Danny was perfect. So I really can't pinpoint exactly why or when things began going downhill and the lavender started to rot. Maybe because he started going to university and got too busy. Or maybe because someone gave me a modeling offer in the city after seeing my blog. It was a great opportunity for me to enter the fashion world, and I was sure we could make long distance work. Yeah, except that even short distance wasn't working for us now. We were just arguing annoying and getting on each other's nerves all the time. See this picture of Danny? Yeah, that's him as a loser kid. But do you see that annoying half smile? He would smirk just like that when he thought he was right, which was like always. Who wouldn't get annoyed? There were so many little things, like why did he tell so many jokes? Why did he touch his ear so often? Why did he sneeze like a raccoon? Sneeze like a man. But things really escalated when we were out for dinner once, and he started eating my fries. Why didn't you just order your own fries? Because I didn't want fries. Then why are you eating my fries? I just took a few. You've eaten half the plate. You can't share fries with your boyfriend. This is not about the fries. This is about you. You lied when you said you didn't want any, then you ate mine, and now I'm the bad guy? Cece, you're acting crazy. Oh, you want fries? Here, have all of them. The next day, we broke up after 3 years together. And you know the worst part about dating your best friend? When it's all over, you lose your best friend too. But don't worry about me, guys. I took the breakup like a champ. Anyway, I took up the modeling offer and moved to Manhattan right after high school. My parents were very disappointed at my career choices. Surprise, surprise. But I needed to get away from this place, and I just hadn't gone back since. But now, I had just received an invite to a high school reunion. Maybe it was a good excuse to go home. And Danny had moved away, not that it mattered. Yeah, what could go wrong? Oh, Cece, you dumb, silly duck. I didn't realize I'd missed my parents so much till I saw them. Even they seemed kinda happy. Cecilia, what's the matter? Has the dirty city air destroyed your corneas? No, Mom. Something just went into my eye. I asked the chef to make your favorite dessert, a strawberry tart. That's your...
Make a perfect moment on pizza night. And remember, an Essenza is essential.
New Diamond Hydrogen Complex and Vitamin E. Cleanses deep, that is gentle on skin. Dial your day. Or favorite dad, I'm allergic to strawberries, but I appreciate the thought. And man, oh man, did I appreciate my bed. Why had I left this life again? Hard to recall the moment. I was having a great time at the reunion with my old friends when I spotted a stunning brunette in a red dress. You know, the kind of dress that only a very confident girl can pull off, and you instantly feel imperfect in every way just by looking at her. Hey, that girl wasn't in our batch, right? Cece, that's Regina. What? No, I remember Regina. Duh. She had braces, thick glasses, and she was cute, but kind of fat, you know, like plump. Yep, same Regina. She got a major glow up. Also, there's something you should know. Just then, a tall guy in a suit walked up to Regina and kissed her. Danny? Oh my god, I'm not ready for this. I gotta go before he sees me. But as I turned, I tripped over my own feet and crashed into a photo booth. Caption for next Insta post. How to be a complete moron in front of your ex and his gorgeous girlfriend. Why do our meetings always start with you on the floor? Don't stare at my butt, you pervert. What? I swear I wasn't. Ugh, get up, you weirdo. Gosh, he was even cuter than I remembered. You didn't even go to our high school, man. Why are you here? I'm here with, Regina. Cece, you look gorgeous as ever. Mwah. Always the most popular girl in school? You look great too. Thanks, babe. History. This must be awkward. Oh, please. That was a million years ago. I've dated like 400 boys since then. It's all cool. We're cool. Except watching them together was setting my insides on fire. Listen, guys, I'm not unreasonable. Of course, I didn't think Danny would stay single forever, even though it would have been great if he did till I got married and had my first child. Whatever. I can't control that. But why her? She's prettier than me. He wasn't supposed to upgrade. Animator, show me the ugliest shot you got of her. No, not this one. She still looks too pretty. Not this either. Pretty. Okay, animator, you failed. Can someone else volunteer? Yes, the music guy. Love your music, by the way. Oh yeah, this picture. Look at her face. It's made according to Da Vinci's golden ratio, man. And that dark hair, that swan-like neck for perfect skin, and those long legs. And no, I'm not gay. I mean, I don't think so. But if I was, she'd totally be my type. Cecilia, who are you talking to? And I heard gay. Are you gay? Not that we're not open-minded people, but no grandchildren then? Not right now, guys. I went down a social media rabbit hole stalking Regina and Danny. I wanted to be happy for him, really, but he didn't seem like himself anymore. He was always dressed in fancy suits and hanging out with fake-looking rich people, like he was trying too hard to fit in. But it wasn't any of my business. He'd moved on, and so had I. Till I found out my parents were hosting a Christmas party, and Regina's parents were invited, so she and Danny would be coming too. I needed a distraction. So I decided to work on a new blog post. How to get a date over the holidays so you're not the only single loser at Christmas. Okay, lovely followers, and of course everyone watching this video. Here are some of Cece's tried and tested tips. Number 1, walk up to a guy in a grocery store and compliment his ugly sweater that his mom obviously knit for him. Guys love it when you compliment them. Ballerina supports touch therapy dogs.
Life's too short not to try something new.
Their moms. Number 2, stand behind a cute guy at a coffee shop, eavesdrop on his order, and then say, "Oh, you have such good taste. I'll have what he's having." Making a guy feel special over nothing is a sure way to win him over. Number 3, when you're walking outside, freaking Danny.
Hey, Cece, you okay?
Oh yeah, I just broke my heel.
Hop in, I'll drive you home.
I didn't tell him what I was actually doing, Obvi. We drove away in awkward silence, and then he turned on the radio. You wanna hear about a girl who makes jealous bitches? I love Ramen Lee Min Ho.
Happy to hear that. Regina hates my songs.
And after that, we just reconnected like old times. Talking to him felt so right and easy and comfortable. I actually felt disappointed when we arrived at my place, and suddenly it was crystal clear to me. I wanted Danny back. Look, guys, I can feel some of you judging me already, but Regina's known him for what? A few months? She'd get over him. Danny and I were together for 3 years. And yeah, it didn't end well, but we've grown up now. Plus, whose side are you on anyway? This is my story. Root for me. The Christmas dinner was the perfect opportunity for my first move. I switched around the place cards to make sure I sat next to Regina to talk down Danny. So, you must have heard Danny's embarrassing singing by now. Gosh, I've never met someone so off-key, but it's cute. Okay, but have you heard him sneeze? Like a raccoon? Yeah, I tell him he should just let it out. What about the way he snorts like a pig when he laughs? I sometimes do that too. He has terrible taste in music. Oh yeah, I'm trying to change that by introducing him to classical stuff. Also, the worst taste in food. Why eat Mexican when you could have sushi and caviar? Yeah, Mexican? Yeah, Danny and I love Mexican food. Who doesn't? This girl's a psycho. But you know, yeah, it was just some random dude Ted at the bus stop I'd bribed to act like my date. The second course of action was trying to make Danny jealous. Regina was all over him, touching his hair and laughing. So I ran my fingers through Ted's hair too. Ow, you're hurting me. Ow. I tried feeding him cheesecake next. No way, girl. Get your own slice. You can't have mine. I don't share food. And then he just disappeared after dinner. Luckily, Regina's feet were hurting, so Danny asked me to dance instead. Why did he have to be so lovely and charming and a gentleman? Why couldn't he be ugly and gross and a jerk? And when the music stopped, several people were pointing to something above us. Mistletoe. Everyone cheered us on to kiss, and Danny gave me a gentle peck on the lips. He walked off while my head was spinning like a ballerina. And as I watched him and Regina leave the party, she waved to me with a warm smile. Wait. What? I just kissed your boyfriend and you're smiling at me? This girl was faker than my nails, and for some reason, she wanted to keep me close. 2 days later, she arranged a big picnic for our whole batch and invited me too. Yeah, check out her fancy handwritten note because she's too fancy to send a text. Dearest Cece, you are cordially invited to Regina's annual charity picnic gala. All we require is your presence and generous donations. The rest has been taken care of by us. Hope you'll join us for a fun-filled day. XOXOXO, Regina. Well, 2 can write a note. Dear Regina, yeah, I'll come. I'm busy, but I'll come. Cece, it was a huge event and there were a bunch of games. And somehow for each of them, she partnered me and Danny. I didn't know what she was up to, but I felt like she was watching me. Well, I didn't mind. I was happy for Regina to see how totally in sync Danny and I were. Man, we could finish each other's sentences. We kept meeting for the next few days for some event or the other. The problem was, I was really falling for Danny all over again. Why did I ever let him go? And how could I know if he felt anything for me now? One evening, I was feeling bummed and sitting at my favorite spot when someone joined me.
Didn't think I'd find anyone here. Want me to leave?
You should have asked that before making yourself comfortable.
I have food.
You can stay. As we sat there eating crisps, Danny suddenly spoke.
Why didn't you come home earlier, Cece?
Maybe because I didn't want to return till I proved I could make it on my own. It's nice being back though. Even my parents are a little chilled out now. I got Dad to do a TikTok with me. Can you imagine?
Hardly. You know, I always felt like your parents didn't think I was good enough for you. But this time they were nice. Maybe because I've made something of myself now.
I'm sorry they made you feel that way, but I never cared about that stuff. You know that, right?
Of course. You were always so different.
He brushed away a strand of hair from my face and moved closer. Suddenly, his phone rang and we jumped apart. He mumbled that he had to go and quickly left. Once I was sure he was gone, I broke out into a happy dance. Now I knew he felt something for me. I just had to make him feel enough have to break up with stupid Regina. The next day, I was at the mall when I went to a changing room, and I heard two girls talking in the next stall. No, not this dress. We're announcing my engagement at the New Year's party tomorrow. I need something special. What the what? Is Danny excited? Of course he is. Daddy just offered him a position in his firm, and I'm out of his league in every way. He's very lucky. Are you gonna invite Cece too? I don't know why you've been inviting her everywhere. To show her what she's lost. Have you forgotten what Cece was like in high school? She never even noticed me. Like I was invisible. Well, she's looking at me now, and no, she's not invited. I'll just let Danny tell her. I never ignored Regina on purpose. She just seems like one of those shy kids who wanted to be left alone. I had no idea she felt so bitter, and it didn't sound like she loved Danny. Just saw him as someone she could control because she thought she was better than him. I had to tell him, right? He was getting engaged. He must have thought it through. What was I gonna do anyway? Crash Regina's New Year's party and object to the engagement? That sounds stupid. Okay, now let's just fast forward to the part where I burst into Regina's New Year's party and yelled, I object to this engagement. Regina doesn't really love you, Danny. Danny grabbed my arm and led me out angrily. Cece, what the heck? Danny, don't get engaged to Regina. She's all wrong for you.
Hey parents, summer starts at Michael's for everything kids need for creative fun every day. Grab outdoor faves like bubbles, chalk, and more. And stock up on arts and crafts. Plus, new activity kits for creativity on the go. Start your summer at Michael's.
Who are you to decide that?
I just know that. She thinks she's out of your league and she's doing you some favor by being your girlfriend.
Regina loves me.
Not as you really are. Look in the mirror, man. I've seen you wear nothing but suits these past 10 days. She's changing you so you fit into her pretentious world.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, fine. Then don't get engaged to her because I love you. What? Yeah, there. I said it. I love you. Like I'd give up the last slice of cheesecake for you or whatever. So pick me. Choose me. Love me.
Did you just steal your speech from Grey's Anatomy?
Oh, shoot. I'd forgotten we'd seen that show together. Trust him to remember something like that. For those who don't know about it, here's the speech. Choose me. Love me. Okay, so I'm using her words, but I feel the same way.
You're just playing games, Cece. You didn't look back once after leaving, and now you suddenly want me? No, you just hate the thought of me with someone else. We didn't work out before, and we wouldn't now.
This felt worse than our breakup. And for those of you who are on Team Regina, you must be enjoying this. You suck. I couldn't stay any longer, so I packed my bags the next day and hugged my parents goodbye.
I'll send you TikToks every day.
I'll be looking forward to that, Dad. Don't take so long to visit again, Cece. I won't, Mom. Wait, you didn't call me Cecilia. Oh, must have slipped my tongue.
Is there something in your eye again?
Yeah, I think so. Anyway, I'll come visit soon. Bye! Next day, as my self-pity continued, the doorbell rang, and I was shocked to find Danny outside. What are you doing here?
I couldn't get engaged to Regina. You were right about everything, and she's not the one for me. I'm choosing you.
Look, man, that speech was just embarrassing. I take it back.
I choose you anyway.
You said we won't work.
We have to at least try and find out, because I love you too, Cece.
We argued happily ever after. If you like my story and want to hear more of this style, comment CC are shaking and CC.
Emma, what are you doing? I already gave them cookies, right?
Extra hard studying calls for something extra. So you serve up DiGiorno fully stuffed crust pizza. Because pizza with an extra layer of cheese stuffed edge to edge throughout the entire crust always hits the spot. It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
Who says you can't go for gold without going broke? Get the brands you want, the prices you want, whenever you want. TJ Maxx, where you can always afford to be you to the max.
Hi, my name is Elsie. I used to be one of the greatest musicians of all time. But before I continue, please like and subscribe. If you do, you'll excel at your hardest subject.
Growing up in a small town in Nebraska without siblings was super boring and lonely. I didn't like playing with toys by myself, so my parents would send me outside no matter how much I complained. There's nothing to do outside. You could ride your bike. But they wouldn't let me go anywhere since I was only 8, so I would ride in circles around the driveway. School wasn't much better. I'd fall asleep in class, and all the kids were boring too, except for my best friend Gina. You want to help me with my science project? Sure. We made a volcano that blew up at the science. It may have been my fault, but Gina was always positive. It's okay. We all make mistakes. It's how we get better. Even Gina's life was more fun than mine. At least her parents took her on fun vacations. In high school, I realized that my life was lame because I wasn't special. I was an ordinary girl with ordinary parents and ordinary grades. And I just blended into the background, unlike a mean witch named Ashley. Look at her. She's so amazing. Wow, she's beautiful and talented. Ashley always got the leads in the school plays. She was head cheerleader, the student body president, and my worst enemy. It all started when I accidentally spilled some grape juice outside her dressing room on the night of the school play, and Ashley slipped and sprained her ankle. It was an accident, I swear. No one believed me because I was Ashley's understudy and ended up taking her place even though I wasn't very good. From then on, Ashley made my life miserable. She barred my entry into all the clubs and convinced the cheerleading coach not to let me try out too. How was I supposed to find a talent that made me stand out? Then one day in 10th grade, I was watching a video right then that I wanted to be just like her. I begged Mom to sign me up for violin lessons. But they must have given me a broken violin because when I tried it, nothing but these awful screeches would come out of the stupid thing. Screech, squeak, screech, squeak. But my newfound love of music could not be ignored or abandoned. I just needed to find the right instrument. Next, I tried a guitar. Then I quit because the strings hurt my fingers. Singing seemed fun and easy, so I sang all the time. In the shower, at the breakfast table, on road trips, during my parents' important phone calls, late at night, until they finally screamed, "No more singing." They should have said something sooner. It hurt my throat more than it hurt their ears. Finally, the piano. And the teacher was my own grandmother. She could play music better than the violin girl. And did I become a great musician right then? I wish. Is that the only song you know? Can't you play something else? Somehow, months passed and I could only play the same lame pieces. I hated practicing. It was tough and frustrating, and it took forever. Slowly, I kind of gave up on my dream of becoming some musical genius. It just seemed too far out of my reach. But then something happened in 11th grade that changed my life forever. I don't remember much after my parents dropped me off at the fair. One minute I was walking past the petting zoo and sending Gina a text. Then suddenly I heard a loud shriek. Eehaw! Then an angry donkey kicked me in the head and sent me flying into the side of a circus tent. I woke up in the hospital. My ears were ringing. Strange sounds and colors were going. It's like I was seeing music? The doctor said I was fine and released me from the hospital, but on the way back home, I begged my parents to stop at Grandma's house. Oh dear, what happened? I ran to Grandma's piano, sat down, and started to play. And I was amazing! I could play any piece of music with perfect ease. I could even make up new music on the fly. It was all so clear and effortless. My goodness, where has she been practicing? Why, she sounds even better than me on my best day. Grandma entered me into a local piano competition, and I blew everyone's mind. I won first prize. People ran up to me to get my autograph, and I was even on the news. Ashley was so jealous. An agent came to my house and asked my parents if he could represent me. And soon, I was playing gigs in so many cities. I'm a superstar, you know. Oops, that's my agent. I'll call you back later, okay? Many successful concerts later, I was ready for a break. Zach, the most popular boy in school that I'd been crushing on since the 6th grade, invited everyone in class to his pool party. And I was so there. And I asked Gina if she wanted to tag along. We were supposed to go to the Science Museum today, remember? The Science Museum is boring. Can't we go another day? But today's the last day to see the electron microscope lab. I convinced Gina to skip the lame science exhibit and join me. Sitting on deck chairs, I shared my adventure with all the popular kids. My life definitely wasn't boring anymore. But Gina didn't seem impressed. In fact, her bad attitude was messing up the vibe. We should have gone to the science museum. I'd rather watch paint dry than see Ashley and her friends prance around in bathing suits. It's a pool party. You're supposed to wear a bathing suit. There's no one even in the pool. This is such a stupid waste of time. Gina, that's rude. Why are you trying to spoil things for me? I can't believe you're being so selfish. I'm selfish? First, you forget my birthday, and then you make me miss the exhibit for this ridiculous party so you can impress all these kids that you don't even know. You've changed, and I don't like it. I haven't changed. You're just jealous. It's okay. Everyone can't be as awesome as I am. Well, you can be awesome by yourself. I'm leaving. I didn't like falling out with Gina, but it seemed like she just couldn't be happy for me. I was a shining star. I was living my best life. Maybe I just...
I love hotels. I love the process.
Opera GX. Opera GX. Opera GX. Thanks, Opera GX. Opera GX is the best browser available. I switched over a year ago and I've never looked back.
Once you start, there's no going back.
It's light, it's efficient, you can customize it, fully animated wallpapers. I have my own mod in Opera GX, which changes the wallpaper, and it also comes with its own custom theme and sounds, so when you hover over things like the speed dial, it'll change the sound, which you can toggle on or off if you want to.
just needed new friends to match. Then, Zach was suddenly standing right next to me.
Hey, aren't you that girl who's so good at piano that she's already on tour?
Something like that.
That's so cool. And you're playing in the talent show next week, right?
Yeah. I hadn't heard about it, but it sounded like kiddie stuff compared to what I'd been doing.
Sweet. I can't wait to hear you play. See you around, Elsie.
Zach walked away, and all the girls couldn't stop drooling over his perfectly sculpted muscles. I got up off my towel and dove into the pool, but it must have been the shallow end because the next thing I knew, I woke up back on my deck chair looking into Zach's handsome face.
She's awake. Elsie, are you okay?
Ow, my head. I think I hit my head.
On the bottom, yeah. You should have a doctor check.
I'll be fine. But I wasn't fine. After I passed out face first into my soup at the dinner table that night, my parents took me to see the doctor. He said I had a concussion and had to stay home for a week. I agreed, but only for 1 week. There was no way I was going to miss that talent show if Zach was expecting me to be there. I was backstage when the day finally arrived, awaiting my turn to perform. I should have been excited, but didn't have that comfortable, familiar feel.
Yeah, Elsie.
The auditorium fell silent. By the time I touched the keys, my hands were shaking. I started to play, and I was horrible. Gifts the mule had given me disappeared when I'd struck my head on the bottom of the pool. It was so unfair. I had everything I'd wanted, only to have it taken away at the worst possible time. Gina called me a few times and sent text messages to see if I was okay, but I didn't answer. I was so ashamed. I had no desire to show my face at school. That winter, Grandma sold her house and everything she owned when she moved into a nursing home. But the one thing she insisted on keeping in the family was her old piano. When it was delivered to our house, I hated looking at it. It just reminded me of everything I'd lost. One day, I was sitting on the porch when Gina came up to me. "Are you okay?" "No, my life is over. I'll never play piano again, and no one will ever like me, and I'll live a boring life forever, and I was a jerk to my best friend." Well, you were a real jerk to me, but the rest of the stuff just isn't true. There's no reason you can't play piano again. Maybe you just need to practice. Over the next few days, I couldn't get Gina's words out of my head. Maybe you just need to practice. I remembered that Grandma had told me the same thing. So I pulled out my old music books and sat at the piano and gave it a try. And it turns out, practicing isn't so bad. In fact, it wasn't long before I realized it becomes easier as you go. Plus, with Grandma teaching me over video chat, I actually understood what I was doing and why. Lessons from Grandma through the rest of high school. Gina and I started hanging out again. I even saved up my allowance to get us tickets to travel to the electron microscope lab that dates away. Gina was right all along. My life wasn't over, it was just different. Now, you might be wondering, whatever happened to Zach? At first, I thought he was avoiding me after the talent show disaster. But then come to find out, he'd left town, and no one really knew why. I eventually stopped asking about Zach. I was too busy with school and piano for boys anyway. By the 12th grade, I was finally ready to play piano in front of an audience. You should enter the talent show. I don't know. Come on, on, you can do it. I think you could even win. Gina kept insisting, so I decided to sign up. The line was huge. Ashley and the other cheerleaders were in front of me. If we do the same routine from regionals, we'll blow the roof off this place. And that trophy is ours. I edged my way through the group, wrote my name at the bottom of the list, and the word piano beside it. Since when do you have talent, Elsie? Since I started practicing music. Then why do I seem to remember your spectacular failure last year? Didn't that bump on the head, like, turn you stupid or whatever? No, look at the dummy. She can't even speak. Get ready to lose, loser. You don't stand a chance against us. I stayed up all night practicing. On the night of the competition, I waited on stage for my turn. The moment Ashley and the cheerleaders took the stage, they were incredible. Even though I would play Beethoven, my little piano piece didn't stand a chance. And right before my performance, the power went out. Great. I took a deep breath and stepped on stage. Cell phone flashlights and displays blinked on throughout the audience, like a brilliant star field. I sat at the piano. There was just enough light to see the keys. I played the famous Beethoven piece to oohs and ahs, and a standing ovation that led to winning the talent competition. I'd done it, not from a freak accident, but for real. Oh, and there was even a nice bonus. I ran into Zach in the lobby afterward. You were amazing. Thanks, but where have you been all this time? China, exchange student program. I wanted to keep in touch, but everything happened so fast. I couldn't even look you up on social media because the government restrictions kept me totally off grid. Really glad to be back, though. Me too. Can I ask you something? Sure. Do you give lessons? Only if you practice. Shall we say Wednesday after school? It's a date.
Make a perfect moment on pizza night. And remember, an essenza is essential.
you ordered another.
That's the one for the
Hundred.
train. The train that I have. It's this one. The train has this one.
You don't have that one yet?
Not yet, it comes in August. Has this one. And it has the this one. You see, that's the
You
train
have
so
the-
far.
What's the
Not
one
yet.
coming in?
The final one, the fifth one.
I believe it'll probably be Minnie Mouse.
I don't know.
Or what's the castle in Disneyland? Cinderella Castle.
I don't know. It has to be a character.
I think I'll say Cinderella.
I don't know. So I have this one and this one so far. This one is in August.
That
This
is
one
gonna
is
steal that.
September.
That is gonna steal that.
That you already started. This one is in September.
If it's a villain, I'm stealing it. Can you see if they added any new Funko Pops for my?
Is she sick?
For what?
My villains.
Train? The train is complete. The train is complete.
Oh, see the other villains.
Okay, I'm studying.
What? Okay, see the one like
26 to 28.
that comes to in May. And what is it that